Spending some time with my dogs is always great. Family, friends, on the mountain bike. Generally somewhere nice and quiet is also a benefit. So yeah, back to nature with my friends and family, and also with the pets is great. Oh, there's many. I think we have a lot of special people for our sport. Obviously the drivers are people that I look up to, whether it's the world champions of the past, the 3 or 4 times world champions. Jack Brabham from my country, obviously 3 times world champion. Jackie Stewart did a lot for safety for our sport. And then you have, some great names that I did not get to meet, the Jimmy Clarks, the Colin Chapmans, these guys. Bernie Eccleston also has not everyone's favourite guy, but he did a lot of different things for our sport in terms of commercially. So yeah, it's not easy to pick one guy who's been very, very powerful for our sport. Yeah, the regrets, I think it's, as a sportsman, your whole career is a journey, and also life is a journey. We know that, yes, there is mistakes along the way. It's completely normal to have mistakes. I think that if you don't have those, then you don't learn. Going to different teams at certain times, you can look, if I did that differently, I would be in a better position. But it's the journey, it's the challenge. It makes you stronger, it makes you a better person ultimately, I believe, and that's what you have to stick with. And you have good people around you to share the journey with, and so I don't look at it too negatively, like I have regrets, I did this wrong, I did that wrong. Learn from it and get on with it. I'm pretty minimalistic anyway. I don't have many gadgets or many things that need to satisfy me, let's say. So, I like to keep in contact with people, so I suppose a phone would be something that I would need, but it's not a necessity. If you're going to an island and it's a desert island, then I need basic things to stay alive. So that's what I'd probably take. But yeah, it depends how serious your question is. If it's really remote, a desert island, then yeah, I'm in trouble. But if I can take a few things like some friends or pets, then it'd be great. Committed, disciplined, and honest. Absolutely crucial. It was paramount that I got the support from David at that point in my career. It was 1997, it was the middle of the year. I had no money left for my racing, no real sponsors, and David was someone that he achieved great things on the international stage. He was trying to understand what I was trying to do at that time, when not many other people were believing in what I could do. So was special, the support that David gave me, and I will never ever forget that. I've never forgotten it, and it also gave me a very important part of me being a young man at the time, and having such an amazing guy support me gave me confidence to say, okay, I need to get this job done now as well, not only for myself, but for the belief that he showed in me. Well, the racing side of things is pretty passive, I would say. I'm not involved with MW Arden too heavily. Yes, it's a team that of course I want to do well. I'm involved with Christian Horner in terms of, and his father Gary in the running of the team. But that's really, they're good at that. I think my name helped a little bit with the category, and that's what they wanted to, and I wanted to do with the team. More from, not just from the driver's perspective, young drivers coming through, but also from young engineers and people to get the experience to ultimately work in the level that I work at, which is Formula One. So young Mitch Evans now is a driver that we are, I'm looking after and bringing through the junior ranks, so he's doing well. And we're excited about Mitch's progress. The Tasmania Challenge is something which I get as much satisfaction out of. It's very, very rewarding because you see people test themselves, challenge themselves. They're not sure if they can do that challenge. They arrive the first week and they think, wow, I'm quite intimidated by what's ahead of me. but as the week goes on, they get through it, and you can see the confidence in them. And I believe it's not, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's life-changing, but a lot of people get a lot of confidence from that event, and it really changes how they look at themselves and also how they then go on to do the next 6 to 12 months of their life, and it opens up a new path for them, which is nice. So far it looks like that. 5 different winners in 5 different races, many different people getting points. It's very tight to the top, 10 points, 10 or so points covering the top 5 or 6 drivers. So it's very unusual, let's say. Normally in the seasons gone by, you had a clear break of people who were going to be favourites for the championship, but it's very difficult to know which teams or drivers are going to be in the best position with 3 or 4 races to go. And what we do know is not getting points is not good. Clearly, you need to score when you can, and victories are always welcome. Of course, if you can get the wins, then that makes a big difference. Not really. We like to be able to predict things a bit nicer and be able to know that what results we're going to get. But we're preparing very well. We do what we can, obviously, to get the maximum result. And winning is what it's about. We want to be at the front. We want to do well. And when we don't get the results, obviously, we need to continue to work harder and work smart as well. We need to understand how we can improve the situation and try to beat the competition. And that's what the challenge is always about. I think for the fans, it's quite interesting for them, but also I don't know if they will get sick of seeing so many different winners. It's nice to have lots of different winners, but also we want to have, I think the rivalry is always good to have rivals. We always have people fighting for the championship, and to have lots of different people always fighting. Let's see as the season goes on, maybe there will be some rivals that come in the end, but some battles for the championship. Monaco is a really special track. It's an old circuit in terms of when it was first designed, and the layout hasn't changed too much since then. Yes, the track has got a little bit easier, I would say, from when I first joined in Formula One in 10 years ago. But in general, it's still a test of man against the track and with the car. Yes, you are racing other people, but I don't feel like you're always racing against the other competitors, because the track is always asking you to give more, and if you bite and try to give it more, then obviously you crash. So it's a very challenging circuit mentally. The race is quite long, obviously. 78 laps around there is quite taxing on the mind. Physically it's quite straightforward, but on the mind you need to be very disciplined, and that's the challenge around Monaco. And if you're in front, obviously you can control the race quite well. It's an easy race to manipulate, the Grand Prix. But if you're behind, it can be very frustrating because you spend the whole race in the gearbox of someone. I don't know if it'd be good if Adrian can make an appearance in the water, but I think in years gone by, as you say, we have won the last 2 years there with Red Bull. We will celebrate well, but I don't think we'll be getting too ahead of ourselves, because we know this championship is very weird and a bit strange at the moment. So it's a great victory to have, but that there's still many races to go. Where in years gone by, we knew that if you're competitive at most venues, you're going to be competitive at other tracks. So there's no real form guide. Enjoy the moment, has a bit of a celebration, but it's not. You don't want to get too carried away with yourself.